Good morning. I'm delighted I can join you today from a quarter way around the world, and I'd like to thank the Glasgow School of Art, the UK Fulbright program, and Destiny Media Studios for helping this happen. A year ago, the Mayors Institute for City Design asked us to research and write a piece on art and culture as placemaking. They wanted to know how this happens, who are the initiators and partners, where do the energy and resources come from, and what are the results? And the results along several dimensions, including artistic creativity, quality of life, sustainability, and economic development. My colleague Anne Gadwa and I of Metris Arts Consulting agreed we loved to be called to service in this way. In our resulting study, we define creative placemaking as happening when partners from public, nonprofit, private, and community sectors join to strategically shape the physical and social character of a neighborhood, town, city, or region around arts and cultural activity. So, partners strategically shaping around arts and cultural activities. In other words, instead of thinking of arts and culture as happening inside artist studios or inside buildings that exhibit or present their work, we show how arts and cultural leaders can contribute to and take credit for their embeddedness in real communities and places. We decided to pursue this mission by doing an extensive scan of completed art-centered projects around the US. We talked to literally hundreds of people, we identified dozens and dozens of cases, and we investigated these in greater depth. In the end, we chose 15 for inclusion in our report. We could have profiled many, many more. The 15 we chose are representative across the country of communities large and small, and their distinctiveness in both art forms and larger community mission. In our study, we identify three key ingredients in successful placemaking. First ingredient, initiators. In every one of these cases, someone stepped forward to lead an art-centric project. Often, it was an individual artist, more often than we expected. Sometimes it was a public sector agency or staff member, a community development corporation, or a commercial business. Often it was a nonprofit arts organization. Sometimes it was a mayor or a city council member. The vision and drive of these initiators and their talent at cooperating with others are crucial to success. An example, in Paducah, Kentucky, an artist moved into Lower Town, old abandoned industrial buildings along the Ohio River, and rehabilitated 2 homes, one of which he used as an artist live and work studio. He could see the potential for that area to really become a vibrant, artist-anchored area. He approached the mayor, convinced him of this vision, and between the two of them, they changed city zoning. They got the economic development department to buy and turn over the housing. They recruited artists from all over the country and the world. They arranged with local banks to finance low-interest loans for the artists to rehab the homes themselves. And long and short, in a decade's time, they leveraged $30 million, attracted 70 artists to redo 80 buildings, and have now revitalized the whole area as not just artists live and work buildings, but also gallery spaces and a place for people in the community to hang out. So, initiators. The second ingredient is distinctiveness and local orientation. We found that most successful cases of creative placemaking do not make large physical capital investments in facilities similar to those in competitor cities. And they do not target tourists as their major audience. Instead, they build on existing distinctive creative energies and spaces that already exist in their community. Their aim is to capture a larger share of their own residents' discretionary income by offering good arts and cultural options. Often they make smaller scale, talent-based investments dispersed throughout their cities in multiple venues. And they consciously seek to offer a new dimension of identity for their city or neighborhood. An example, in Silicon Valley, a high-tech entrepreneur decided a decade ago that it would be a great idea to have a festival that tried to marry art with technology. Artists actually are underrepresented in Silicon Valley, and the city of San Jose, seeing the opportunity, helped provide bridge financing to start the festival. A new nonprofit arts organization was formed, 01, and this fall it completed its third international biennial of joining arts and culture, and doing it by recruiting through all the different arts organizations in Silicon Valley, artists that work on projects that embody technology, and using the arts organization spaces as venues for the biennial. They built support from philanthropic organizations and corporate funders, and they really worked to encourage businesses to grow out of this arts and technology interface. This last biennial, they had 55,000 people, and they really are consciously trying to use this event as a way of creating a new identity for people in Silicon Valley. The third ingredient is partnerships, and I've already mentioned some of these other cases. But in all cases, initiators sought partners and in unusual quarters. They have to win public will, and that means both interest on the part of the general population, but also a champion in City Hall, the mayor or somebody on the city council. They have to attract the support of local arts and cultural leaders, not competition from them. They have to find private sector buy-in and resources. They have to build partnerships across sectors, across commercial, nonprofit, community sectors, across missions. Often, these arts and cultural efforts found partners in transportation, housing and community development, education, environment, healthcare, where their arts and cultural offerings help to serve the mission of these other agencies and organizations, and across levels of government. So local government, county, state, and federal government. An interesting example. In Cleveland, in the late 90s, a community development corporation found itself with a defunct theater. It had the vision that it could redo its area as the Gordon Square Arts District. It recruited another theater group that also had a live performance defunct theater, and another group that served youth through drama that was operating in the upstairs of a church. They put forward an idea that they could do a streetscape that would really redo their main drag. By the way, all the major arts institutions in Cleveland are on the east side of the city. This is on the west side of the city. And they first got support through the city council for community development block grant money from the federal government to do the streetscape. From then, they went on to raise money to rehab the theaters, and they got it from economic development agencies, the Regional Transportation Agency, local foundations, Cleveland Public Power, private sector developers, and they used new market and historic preservation tax credits. 10 years later, they've raised $30 million for the streetscape and the renovations, and 2 of the theaters have opened and are operating. The whole commercial area is vibrant. So, 3 cases, 3 ingredients: initiators, distinctiveness, and partnerships. We included only finished cases in our studies so that we could really demonstrate outcomes. We find that art-infused placemaking does the following. This is a very short summary. We can talk about it in the Q&A. Animates public and private spaces, brings diverse people together to celebrate, create, inspire, and be inspired, rejuvenates structures and streetscapes, improves local business viability, community spirit, and public safety, creates jobs and income within and beyond the arts and cultural sector, and, not least, nurtures artistic innovation and expands art audiences. We find that if arts and cultural leaders can find the energy and vision to cooperate among themselves and with other actors in their immediate environments, they can amplify the space for, participation in, and quality of arts and cultural experience in this country. We also conclude that creative placemaking's livability and economic development outcomes have the potential to radically change the future of American towns and cities. You can find our study on arts.gov. And again, for my co-author Ann Gadwa and myself, Ann Markusen, thanks to the Mayors Institute and the National Endowment for the Arts for the opportunity to write and present this study.